What's going down? Thor from Boy Banter back with another TSL preview video, joined by Mr. Charley Cummings, one of the TSL owners and one of the faces of TSL. I think we all know this handsome bastard. Mr. Ryan Kappas, the Oni. Got that awesome red armor if you've seen it all over the place.
I mean, the screen, but
it's literally been photographed more than any armor I can remember. That red armor of yours it's all over the place. All over the place, sir. Thank you for joining us. First time having Ryan.
Thank you.
Charley is returning for another preview video. I didn't scare him away too bad.
No,
so appreciate that from both of you guys. So we got TSL War coming up this Saturday. It's going to be June 22nd at Afton Alps Park?
Afton State Park.
Afton State Park, yep. And that's in Minnesota. Yep. So if you're in the Twin Cities area and you're not fighting in this, get a hold of this man or get a hold of TSL and join. They're still looking for fighters, right? We got light side over here, the head of the light side, and not the head of the dark side, but I mean, close to the top.
We got cookies.
We got cookies. The dark side has cookies. So bribery always works. I mean, at least for me, especially cookies. Mm-hmm. So we just decided we're going to do a little video for everybody. Just kind of preview the event, talk about what it is, some of the rules, how it's going to play out, how many participants, how many standard sabers, how many pikes, how many crossblades, dual wielders. I want to know everything. I want to know it all. And that's why I got these two here. So, Charley, tell us how war kind of came about.
Sure, absolutely. So war really is was kind of a brainchild of Terry, the founder, Terry Birnbaum, and kind of working with Richard Marsden from the HEMA community, has come up and done some teaching and some events, and Terry was kind of hitting around the idea of, hey, what if we were to kind of do something like this, and really kind of came up from the idea from there. And this really is, I know people might be looking at like what's going to happen next year or anything. This is really the one and only time we're looking at doing this type of event.
This is a one-off.
Yep.
This is a one-off.
It's really for the fighters that are in it, for TSL itself. It was something that we felt could get really the community sort of the camaraderie of everybody kind of hanging out for a day of sort of this, again, we're not a LARPing type of organization.
Nope, we are
but
not.
This is as close as we'll ever get with that, when you've got one, we call it light side, dark side, but it really doesn't go down to that, right? I mean, you've got Darksiders on the light side army and vice versa, right? So it's really just kind of about fun for all of us to just kind of get together but
anyone fighting Darkseid does have to have a red saber.
I wish, because to me it's about that cut scene in the Knights of the Old Republic game where you get like those 30 red and the 30 just mixed color sabers going at it. I mean, that to me is sweet. So, but no, it'll be all colors.
It'll be all colors on both sides.
Yeah.
Okay. How many fighters do we got participating in this currently?
Right now we've got 26 confirmed Lightsiders, and we have 31 confirmed Darksiders. So we will at this point probably have to do a slight adjustment just for a few, because you really can't start, because one or two things is going to happen if we're uneven. One is there are people that aren't going to be able to fight, and we'll talk about that with the rules and with the way that the deployment of troops goes on. Or the other thing is, to be honest, the light side will always be at a disadvantage, and albeit sometimes you might be able to overcome that disadvantage, and that might be part of the games and part of the rules of how it goes, but it's going to make for a really long day if that's the case, right?
Right.
So that's kind of what's going to happen.
So Ryan, as being one of the fighters, what excited you most when you heard about TSL War, and what are you most looking forward to maybe with this upcoming weekend?
For sure. When I first heard about War, I think what kind of spiked my interest the most was this is completely different from everything else we've done in TSL so far. Having an open field combat fighting, almost similar to what you've seen in, I guess, some SCA videos have done it. I've seen them other groups have done it, reenactment groups have done it. And to bring that to something like this, to get this many people together, that's just something that I think to me was incredibly awesome just to be part of. It brought back an idea of, oh, this is almost like going out for a weekend, doing paintballing. You got 2 big teams of paintballers playing, and we're doing it with lightsabers out on the field. And that's kind of what I'm expecting out of this. And I just thought it would be a really cool thing that we get to kind of play the role of soldiers and commanders and whatever out on the field with, these tools we've been using for the past couple of years in the ring, but now we can use it in a different format and kind of change it up a little bit.
So this is in a park, in a state park. We're actually we're not where the meets used to first take place, but same kind of style.
Yep.
How big is the ring gonna be for this, and what's kind of the breakdown of the setup of that ring?
So really, think of a football field.
Yep.
Right. So whether it's 100 yards or not, it's about that, right? And so you've got 100 yards by, let's say, 55 yards, which is the playing field or in essence the battle where it's going to take place. If you think about it, if you step off of that, it's like you're stepping off into space, right? And then you can't like go out and then come back in.
Okay.
And then each end zone is going to be the different camps. So you'll have the dark side camp and the light side camp on either side. The starting will be 15 on 15. So each commander, basically the general, will in essence give the direction of, let's say, which formation they want to do or how they want to start it. The commander then is responsible for getting their troops together and deploying their troops for the first 15 of it. After that, the deployment goes, I believe it is 1 soldier per 20 seconds that can then enter, or you can basically bank them up. So let's say you wait a minute and then you can send 5 at one time.
So none of those replace or additions to. So does 15 become 20 after a minute, or does 15 stay 15 by the 5 coming in are replacing 5 currently on the field?
No, they're just being able to go out there.
In addition to.
Okay. In addition.
Okay.
It's not necessarily like a respawn per se. It's more along the lines of you are now allowed to reinforce your positions or put things out, basically change tactics or even, flank maneuvers, things like that.
And these are going to be last man standing bouts.
Yep.
So, and there'll be a maximum number of each team, right? We're going to have even teams. So let's just say 25 and 25. So it'll be the first, 15 and 15 will start. Then, in a minute, the next 5 will come in. One more minute, the next 5 will come in. You'll have last man or woman, last person standing, and then a little break, reset, and then go again.
Yes. So, but there is another key element of it, right?
Okay.
Because there's also a light side general, and Terry Birnbaum is the dark side general.
Right.
So there is 2, and not to say that the general is like the golden snitch to switch it up, right? It's not like if you kill the general, if somebody from my team were to say kill Terry, the light side wins. It doesn't happen that way. But what can happen is 2 things can happen when I talked about the playing field. And so let's say you flank a maneuver, you can either attack the position, attack the team, not necessarily from behind, but let's say from at least over here, right?
From an angle.
Right,
from a forward angle.
If I'm behind you, I have to come at least with my blade coming across your shoulders towards the front of you. Sort of like in football, engaging the block from the other sides of the shoulder pads, right?
Yeah.
So it's not a block from behind. The other thing that we could do if I flanked you is instead of attacking the team out on the field, you can rush the general. So you can actually go into the enemy camp and take a swipe or to try to kill the general on that. If you are successful and able to do that, that's something called kingfall. And kingfall means that they blow the whistle and it's an instant stop, and everybody that's on that, let's say we did kill Terry and killed him on the dark side, they would blow a quick whistle. Everybody on Terry's side, on the dark side that has an exotic, would basically have to put that exotic down and then fight the rest of that fight without exotic weapons. So no pikes, no dual wielding, no cross guards. And basically, and so that's the advantage that the light side gets for taking out the dark side general.
Okay.
But if Terry deploys, because again, it's last man standing. So everyone will have to deploy. Everybody will die, basically. In essence, if in order for the
Multiple
dark side
times.
to die, everybody on that squad has to be, in essence, killed.
Right.
So he will have to deploy at some point. Once, and by the way, as a light side general, I could also decide to lead the beginning. Right, we're down. We need a little bit of, pick me up. I said, I'm going to take this first charge. Let's go. Follow me, boys and girls. Let's go take care of the Sith.
I'm ready. Let's do it. I'm right behind you, Charlie.
Exactly. So get behind the compensator, my pike, right? And
Screw cookies. Charlie's got me fired up now.
And we're gonna go out there, right? If I die, which probably would happen, if I foolishly ran out there, that's not a king fall. So
okay, that negates the king fall.
Correct.
If the general deploys
deployed,
into the field of battle, that negates the king fall.
Correct.
Okay.
So it's a good strategy to have.
Yeah, it to me that was kind of like my idea for the rule part is I just wanted that little element of like, hey, what if you decided, hey, we're going to actually, and at some point it might behoove you to do that, right? Because one thing though is once you step into that enemy camp, all of those reserve troops are activated. I mean, it's not like they're just going to stand by and let you attack the general in it, right?
They can engage if you enter the camp.
Correct. They can't leave the camp.
But if engaged...
But what if you're late enough in a battle that there's only like 4 or 5 guys back there, including the general?
Bring a group of 3?
Exactly. Now you've decided to make a rush, and there might be 10 out in the field of battle, because once you deploy, you cannot go back into the base. So that is another thing. And there is one other piece too.
Win or die.
Yep, that's exactly. And then there's one other piece is there is a strip along each, if you think about it, the sidelines of each of the football, the football field, the pitch, whatever. There is sort of a DMZ, right? Okay. And what that is for genuine safety issues. Your helmet breaks, your glove pops off, whatever it is, or your weapon malfunctions fully. You get off of that field without having to trudge all the way back to your home base. The other piece too is if there is a king fall, that's where the exotic goes. So you're not dropping exotics all over the field for people to have to step over and walk over. You're just quickly going to throw them over or put them on the side of the field and then go back off to play.
So for scoring and killing purposes, real quick before we go into pikes and sabers, I want to ask about that next. But real quick, for scoring purposes, it's 1 shot, 1 kill?
For the head and torso, 1 shot, 1 kill. The other thing is for safety purposes, we are not allowing any strikes to the below the waist. Nothing below the waist, because you don't want people are running around out there. You don't want a pike to go between somebody's legs and then somebody's tumbling around. The back altogether, kind of as I mentioned earlier in the flanking, no back, so no back of the head, no back in general. Those are for the most part, hands are kind of off, because we're really, if you think about it, we're all out there, we're looking for legitimate kills, right? That kind of aspect, and not to get to the whole martial aspect, because I know that's been coming up a lot lately, but it is more in that vein, just because, again, we're all going out there, this is for fun, we're not looking to just tap you, even though that is a legitimate hit and a legitimate, so it's 2 shots for arms, 1 for head and torso is a kill, and then you're off.
What about the scoring, and what about that excites you or makes you somewhat hesitant?
Actually, I really like all the thought that's gone into the rules and the scoring that we're having for war. It's going to make an interesting dynamic for a lot of the interactions between fighters, and I think the most important thing for everyone to focus on is, like Charlie said, this is for fun. And Charlie mentioned earlier, we're going to be doing several of these fights throughout the day. You get hit, you get hit. You're not there to be the hero or whatever. Sometimes, just like if you play, paintball, airsoft, you sometimes get hit and you don't realize it. It's going to happen. You're going to probably hit someone. They're not going to realize it. It could be a light tap. They're not going to realize it. There's going to be tons of people running around. But I think when you get hit, a nice solid hit, you're going to know about it. And you're going to be like, oh, that was a good hit. take yourself off there and you'll be like, all right, next time, I got a little different strategy. And that's kind of what excites me is that play that because of how these rules are a little bit differently, we're taking out the legs, making 1 point to the chest and head and 2 to the arms. It's going to make people think a little bit differently of how they're going to strike, how they're going to approach people, how's their footwork going to be, and how is their saber work going to be as well. So,
and especially with being able to work, let's say, with somebody next to you, right? I mean, all of a sudden you're adding that element. And I did something during a meet a couple of weeks ago where I fought 1-on-3, right? Just to kind of get an idea. And it's not like the movies. It's not like one person attacks, then one person attacks, then one person.
They all come right in.
I mean, by and large, I could engage 2 only because I would be able to get one saber into the other, right? And sort of the way that I was able to dictate my attack with them, but what immediately happened? I would immediately get hit by the third person because that's the way. So you have to rely on teamwork in this type of situation. Anybody tries to do a one-on-one, like you said, I'm going to be the hero.
Yeah,
you're gonna be dead.
You're
real
gonna be
quick.
dead. Exactly.
Yeah, you're gonna be dead real quick.
What's the definition of a hero? Someone who gets killed.
I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm just coming as a spectator. I don't know. This won't be live, so there's nothing to watch on this Saturday. There's drones. There's things happening. We can't divulge too much of it, and maybe I don't know some of it. So whatever. But either way, you will be able to watch it at some point, and it's going to be spectacular. I'm going to be there. I don't know. I'm hoping to be on commentary when they do the video of the footage and stuff like that. But there will be ways to watch this eventually. I mean, it is for the TSL fighters and the community and stuff like that. But it will be available for everybody in some capacity. If you're not going to be able to make it up to Minnesota for War, you will be able to see it somehow soonish. Not on Saturday, but soonish. I promise you that. I will make that happen somehow.
Yeah, there'll probably be some Facebook living and some cuts that we always have up on the.
I'll do some live. I'll do some live streaming.
But we're really putting it and packaging it together for something. I mean, it's really part of it is it's going to be all through the day, including up to dusk and into where it just gets dark. Because why? Because sabers look dope at night.
It starts at what? It starts at what time in the afternoon?
It starts at about 10 o'clock
in the morning, and it goes till about 10 o'clock at night. So this is 12 hours.
Yep.
I mean, there's gonna be breaks. There's gonna be breaks in the action. We can only go, especially depending on. Let me pose this question: what are you guys plotting to beat the heat? What are you gonna do to beat the heat? Because outside is a different animal than fighting in a temperature-controlled indoor place, right?
Yep.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, man.
All right. Well, luckily, Afton is known to be up a little bit, so we might get that breeze coming off the St. Croix a bit. That weekend is the weekend that always rains, so maybe we might just be rained out. We'll still be fighting in the rain. That's something I wanted to bring up. That's definitely a possibility, and that'll keep us cool. And then it's
rain or shine, it's going down.
Then it comes down to how do you stay dry? For 12 out being outside for 12 hours.
We have a tent.
Comes down to
a big pop-up tent.
Correct.
People can hide under or something.
We do. We have tents and tables, things like that. We've got the biggest and one of my problems that I've done is I haven't done enough for as far as with my team, for as far as going over tactics, how we're going to fight. But instead, what I've been making up for it is in pure logistics, is getting all the things that we need for the event, because it is, like you said, we're going to be at a state park. There's some infrastructure there, but not a lot. So we're going to have to feed 50 people. We're going to have to feed, drink, have all these people.
Water,
and
hydration.
That's and that, by the way, which goes back to your question. How do you beat the heat? Got to be smart, right? You got to take. So if we're out there, I can't, as a general and working with my commanders, I can't send my 5 best people charging in every time, right? They're gonna be done by noon. So I have to really take advantage of all of my resources and looking at that.
Early forecast, and I say early forecast, is 75 degrees, scattered thunderstorms with a 50% chance of rain, wind 10 to 15 miles an hour out of the northeast. That's your early forecast for TSL War.
Battle of Helm's Deep right now.
Yes,
that's what we're gonna have.
The Battle of Helm's Deep. It'll be amazing.
Now, one thing I recommend for fighters, if they have it available, is if they have a camelback. It'll be out of the way of their gear. You can tuck away that hose right there, but then in between things, you pop that, and then you're not doing a ton of hiking back and forth. You're gonna
Clever bastard. I even have a camel pack and I didn't even think about it. So. I'm totally going to have one.
Yeah.
Actually, that's for Darksiders only.
Oh, that's amazing. That is amazing. Okay, so now going back to the Saber things. We've talked about, so each team's got a general, and you keep talking about commanders. How many commanders does each team have?
Each team has 4 commanders.
4 commanders.
And then each commander has a captain. So basically, there are 4 captains, a 5th captain, because the general basically gets their own captain. Sort of, the way I look at it is sort of responsible for the general's vanguard.
Okay.
So Mike Irvan is mine. He's the the temple guard, right? So he's basically responsible for my immediate sort of protection on that as the general. And then each commander, like I said, has their backup for a captain, and then has a allotted number of troops that they have.
So how many standard sabers? How many pikes, cross blades?
Yep.
We got staffs.
All the exotics, all the above.
Wielders?
Yep. We got dual wielding. We've got pikes, and we've got cross guards.
What are the limits?
So the limit is 40% of your army can have exotics.
So 60% has to be
60%
single
has
wield
to be
standard saber.
Correct. Absolutely correct. And then of that 40% that's doing exotics, 50% of that can be pike. So if you
Smart. Very smart.
In essence, it's 20% of your army can have a pike.
You're limiting.
You're really limiting pikes because pikes are. I mean, they're a reason why they always mop up during TSL exotics.
Yep.
They are the number one battlefield weapon on it. For it to be able to use. Every formation has that. Makes extensive use of pikes on it. Very hard to be able to defense against. And again, we want to make it fun. So we don't want just, lines of pike wielders, right? We're not having the battle of the bastards out here, where we're just going to encircle one army and we're just got to move in, stab
We
them.
don't have a 1-1 to knock them away.
That's amazing. What are you fighting with?
I'll be doing standard.
You're going standard?
Yep. I'm going tried and true for myself. Yep.
That makes sense. I wouldn't expect anything less.
I'm bringing a 10-foot pike.
Get the F out of
here. But that's for intimidation
That's
only.
just to scare us.
Yeah.
I think I actually just wet myself a little bit right here just hearing that.
It's going to be just, someone will hold it and stand in the base.
Yeah.
Just standing there and just come in the base. We'll just tilt it.
That's how we're going to do signaling, It's just
Hey, speaking of which, are you rocking some of your Sashimonos?
Correct. Yep.
Nice,
I'll be bringing my red one for sure. We'll talk
Okay.
about bringing my black one or my Lex one, but the red one I'm going to be wearing it out in the field.
All right,
so,
all right. I got little Mackenzie wearing, and the Sashimonos are they're the sort of the samurai banner, the big tall banners that they would wear on their back. And so Ryan and I each have our own, and then working with Lex. From we can never get the
Altiniac.
yes from her cosplay thing she did a bunch
I don't want
of,
that one to get wet,
I know,
so that's why I don't want to bring it.
So I'm thinking about it like I might have
one.
it like I have it right now sitting right next to my armor. So that's it.
Yeah.
Just in case. So are you a commander then for the dark side?
Yes, I am. Yep.
Okay,
yep,
I figured.
Yep. So
I figured about as much. That tracks for me.
Yeah.
So we got. I'm trying to think of any other good things I can ask you. We got the number of people. Is it just going to be like a total like? We're going to keep track like light side wins, dark side wins, and then we'll tally at the end of the day how many.
I think so.
Who's got the most amount of total victories?
Yeah, I would think so.
Round victories.
Yeah, initially there was more emphasis on sort of general versus general, sometimes combat, and calling each other out and the number of victories, and really I kind of wanted to make sure that we got it in more simplified. To really just this was fun. I mean, we don't if we really wanted to get into it and really wanted to start doing this year over year, then these would be things that we could build upon. But at this point, we're just looking to go.
This is pretty much the TSL company picnic, but instead of playing volleyball and like three-legged races, we're just gonna strap on a bunch of gear and smack each other for a whole day.
100%.
It's the TSL company picnic. We just call it war. I mean, it's whatever, you know. Like it's gonna be a great time. I'm bringing like little man's coming with me. Like we're gonna be out there making a day of it. Might have a backup plan to take him home at some point because it's gonna be a long day. I don't think he can last. I don't think he can cut it for the whole time, but well, yeah, man, I don't know. This is going to be amazing. I cannot wait. Especially, I foresee probably a 30 on 30 total. By the time it's all said and done, if we got 31 on one side and 26 on one side, I think we'll be able to patchwork enough in to have a 30 on 30.
If not 28,
25.
29.
Yep.
Yeah, 28, 29. Yeah. Like I said, there's going to be drone footage out there. We got someone from the Nerdist going to be out covering it.
Yep.
We got people from all over the place. I mean,
Yeah,
there
absolutely.
are charters represented from across the nation.
Yep, New Jersey to California.
Yep.
Yeah.
On it, and everywhere in between. Honestly, for this
We
one,
got anyone
we've
from
got,
TSL Mexico coming out?
No, not Mexico, but New Mexico.
New Mexico.
There's
all
a
right,
New
all right.
Mexico.
There is. Really? Is that
Bunch of sprung up overnight, you know.
We have a few New Mexicans coming up for that. We've got somebody from New Jersey. We've got a lot of Californians from all over
Florida?
To be honest, oh yes, we do. Eric Rimbus is
Yeah,
coming
that's
from
right.
Florida,
He
so
is.
we do have a couple of Floridians. We have
Wait, the
Indiana,
Grams are
Ohio.
not going to be here? You telling
no,
me?
they're not going to be able to make it just because there are so many
Shout out Jared.
different.
Shout
Yeah,
out,
it's
shout out
true. I trust me. I was like,
I know.
Jared, Commander, come on.
I know.
But yeah, they had a number of different things going on, and it was just we have so many different events. Plus, we've got
TSL 4 right around the corner.
absolutely. So,
I mean, Combat Con, August 1st to the 5th in Las Vegas at the Flamingo. Get your tickets now online. Be there. I'll be there. These two gentlemen will be there.
He'll be there.
yeah,
Damn it, man. Me and Charley will be there.
Yeah.
yeah, we're rooming.
We are rooming. It's gonna be super. We shouldn't. That's a rabbit
See,
hole
I'm
we
gonna
can't go down.
I'm gonna be taking Charley out at war, so I don't need to fight him at.
No, you can't.
There's the trash talk.
Oh, no.
You want a trash talk? There's the trash talk.
You know what? I wouldn't mind that then. Then he'd have to sit on commentary with me, and we could party harder the whole week in Vegas.
Yeah.
So take him out so we can party in Vegas for a whole week. I mean, no, don't hurt Charley.
Right. What did I hear? Sweep the leg, Johnny. Is that what I just
You're gonna hear that from the sideline.
Yeah.
Sweep the leg. That's how I got to do it. That's how I got to do
I
it.
already have the target on my back for as far as being the general.
Yeah,
on the
that's
light
true.
side, right? So
At one point, it's got to be for one of the rounds. You guys just got to go out first and start the battle, and then have like the 15
Flying V,
rush
you know,
in.
come
Yeah.
I agree.
Have your
I
men
agree.
behind you.
Terry and I will.
There'll be some fun variations. I'm
Yeah.
sure when we're out there, we're gonna like he said, we're gonna have fun with this. We're gonna do some different things. I can't wait to get with some of the videographers who are shooting it. And once everybody gets in town, man, I am so pumped for this thing. I am so pumped. Mr. Charley Cummings, do you have any final words for us? Any final thoughts? Anything that you wanted to say about TSL War before we wrap up?
I mean, I just want to say that this whole event is really a testament to the community in of itself, right? We wouldn't be able to have this type of event for our people, and put out the product that we are going to have if we didn't have such a great organization that we could draw on this many people, like-minded people that wanted to do this. So I'm super excited. It's we're going to be camping for 2 days on it too. I mean, it's going to be awesome. So I'm super excited.
It's gonna be sick, Mr. Kappas.
Just kind of go off of what Charlie's saying there. Those who are coming, look at this as what an opportunity. TSL is still pretty young if you compare it to anything else out
4
there for combat
years,
sports.
4.5 years.
That's pretty
going?
young, We're getting to the toddlers, but it really embraced what this is, that we are getting together in a park to go hit each other with lightsabers, but as a group this time. Like
TSL Company
that's so
Picnic.
Cool. So,
Yep.
Hashtag TSL Company Picnic.
I'm going to be doing that. That's the new hashtag, everybody. Hashtag TSL Company Picnic. I mean, honestly, I'm just honored to be part of this as always. I can't wait to watch these guys fight, watch everyone. I can't wait to see everyone come into town, all the get-togethers, just the camaraderie. United through Sabers, it's more than just a saying. And this really will be a great showing of it this weekend in Minnesota. If you're coming, get here safe. We can't wait to see you. If you're not going to be able to make it, we'll take care of you. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. TSL War, Saturday, June 22nd, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Be there. I'm Thor from Boy Banter, Mr. Charley Cummings, Mr. Ryan Campus. Until the next time, deuces.